Alright, Magic Arena is back. The beta is back, although it never really went anywhere. But I did contemplate not ever doing videos again. It felt like the economy was going to be annoying. They promised that we hadn't seen all their plans, but now we've seen some plans, and they're pretty good. So good, in fact, that I think that you could, if you're worth a damn at magic cards, probably play this game completely free. Now, they did give us a bit of a head start. They gave us some Kaladesh staples for free when they launched Kaladesh a few months ago. And that resulted in people being able to at least play a red deck. And I think that if you're going to try and go infinite, as they call it, in Magic Arena, if this was out of beta, you would probably start with the red deck or whatever the fastest deck with the least amount of rares that's top tier competitive that you can make as quickly as possible. And you want to play constructed queues. Now, I play competitive constructed queues because I like to actually practice sideboarding. I know that there's some evidence that playing quick constructed is just faster at getting coins, and that's perfectly fine too, but I prefer playing competitive constructed, so I do it. And then I think what you want to do is you want to save up 5,000 coins. And sometimes it can be 10,000 or 15,000 coins. However many coins you can manage to get playing constructed, you just bank it, and when the quick draft that you want to draft comes out, you play the quick drafts. Those cost 5,000 coins to enter, and they will give you varying amounts of gems when you win. Now, I hated this at first, because I didn't want to have some odd number of gems and feel like I had to pay for gems to, fulfill the rest of that piece of the pie that was missing. Like, say you need 700 or you need 1,500 coins for the competitive draft, for example. I didn't want to have 800 gems and then I needed to buy 700 gems just to make it happen, just to give them the satisfaction of taking money out of my wallet so that I could use my partial gems. However, I've kind of turned over a new leaf because what I've decided is you play the quick drafts and then you build 5,000 coins, and then you play the quick draft, then you play 5,000 coins, and then you play the quick draft, and you bank all of your gems until you reach 1,500, 3,000, 4,500 gems, and then you play competitive draft. And the reason why this works is because A, you get guaranteed packs for doing competitive draft. If you get 5 wins, you get 6 packs. In addition to all the cards that you open. And those 6 packs in the new vault system of sorts, every 6 packs you open, you will get 2 different wild cards, uncommon and a rare or mythic rare wild card. So you get a lot of stuff from doing this. In addition, you also more than pay for your draft, your competitive draft. All you need is 3 wins to get your 1,500 gems back. So 3 and 2 gets you a free roll. Anything better than that is mild profit. And then you can competitive draft again and competitive draft again. And I know what you're thinking. How long can you keep this up? Well, this here is a breakdown of what I was able to do in the first 20 competitive drafts I did. I actually did, make the red-black deck before M19 came out, and I did exactly that system and saved up 4,500 gems from occasionally doing quick drafts off of my constructed winnings. And you can see the breakdown. Here I played blue-black Tezzeret in the very first draft. I went 5-0 right away. I didn't do awesome in the next couple as I was learning the format. I lost some coins. I got a really sweet Enigma Drake, Gutter Snipe, Banefire deck where I won 4. And then I played Mentor of the Meek tokens, which was insane. And I had a control deck, and Black Sacrifice or Red Black Sacrifice. You know, you can see all the stuff. I have notes about all the stuff I have. Mentor with Psychic Corrosion. You know, white black life gain decks. I mean, there's evidence of the cards, the key cards that I had in these decks, and the breakdown of what I got in terms of gems back and packs back, starting with 4,500 gems. And the result of this was, of course, 93 packs and 4,400 coins remaining, meaning I lost, well, it says coins. I actually mean gems there. I lost 100 gems in 20 competitive drafts and got to open 93 packs. And if you divide 93 by 6, that's how many rare wild cards minimum that I got from non-packs, because I certainly got some in packs as well. Now, I play quite a bit, and I play draft in paper a lot, more than any other format, so maybe I have an edge over somebody who's newer to the game or who plays mostly constructed, but it really goes to show that it's more than possible to do this, despite many people in Discord, particularly a guy named Ramora, naysaying this game at every turn in order to get WotC to change the economy. And this is the ultimate result. I have, well, this amount of stuff remaining currently. And this isn't just the stuff that I earned, because in addition to this stuff, I also have all of these decks complete. Lands, rares, mythics. Every single one of these decks is made, and in addition to this, I could still like make Merfolk. I just don't want to, but I have all the stuff for that too. And many, many wild cards. It's like crazy how good this is. Like I just have everything. Like M19 is already complete. I already have 4 Bolas. I already have 4 Resplendent Angels. I already have like 3 Tezzeret. This isn't like a brag. It's just like, this is possible. This is like kind of a dream come true. This is what we hoped Magic Arena would be when we were speculating about what would replace Magic Tools. And I found Magic Tools to be quite fun. But this is on another level. So, what's the ultimate end game for this? Well, it's to get to the point where you have constructed decks that are basically getting you those gems to save up in the middle of the season. And then you just save up all those gems whenever you have all the stuff that you're happy about. And then when the next set comes out, you just immediately jam competitive drafts over and 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 over until you get the stuff you want for the new competitive constructed season. And then you use the decks that you made with all of those draft wins to save up gems for the next set. And I went a little overkill because I had time on my hands, but pretty sure anybody can do this. Now, in terms of how to actually get better at drafting, which is really the key here, if you're doing quick drafts, you need to be being good at draft is going to get you more gems. If you are good at draft, doing the competitive drafts is going to let you free roll for longer. Like I did 20 for basically free. I feel like that was a little bit of an anomaly. I probably should have run out of coins. One of my good buddies in real life ran out of coins after about 12. But this is possible. And in terms of how to do it, that's going to just have to be another video. But I will give a quick breakdown on where I'm at in terms of these archetypes. So blue-white, I played twice. I didn't do too great. I feel like the flyers are amazing, and I think that blue is like the best color, or it's not the best color, it's the safest color, because it has all those bounce spells, the Exclusion Mage, Disperse, and totally lost that disrupts the extremely popular throw auras on everything deck. But blue-white has not really quite gotten there for me, but I think it's fine because I think these are two of the best colors. But one awkward thing is that like the gold card and a lot of the payoffs for this archetype require artifacts, and a lot of the artifacts are a little bit crappy. So that's one issue. But you do make giant flyers in this deck sometimes. White-black, I predicted would be one of the best decks beforehand. It is not the best deck now, but I did get 5 wins with it, like 1 out of 3 times. And it's been strong. It's been strong enough. I was 14-6 with it. White-red, I actually think, is the best color combination. The tokens deck is insane. You want to get everything that makes tokens. You can even play the 1/2 flyer. I went 5-0 with 3 copies of that stupid 1/2 flyer for 1, and that is not a good card. But you just play a bunch of creatures. Hopefully you have Mentor the Meek, or I had the 6-drop that doubles it makes tokens equal to the amount of creatures you have, so it like doubles it. The red-white gold card, Heroic Reinforcements, is insane. And of course, like Inspiring Charge in this archetype is insane. I also think that a good amount of the pieces, particularly the creatures, are just stupid commons, so you can easily make this deck pretty frequently. But you do need the big payoffs to feel good about it. The Mentor of the Meek, the 6-drop White Girl, the Heroic Reinforcements. You can win with just Trumpet Blast if it's open, but that will be a weaker version, but it'll still probably get you 4 wins because this archetype is very strong and it can just play around any other strategy, really. White-green, I did get 5 wins with it one time, obviously, as the gold star denotes, if you didn't notice. I think it's actually good. It has legs. You really want to get value out of all your auras by putting it on the Druid of Horns or the Satyr Enchanter guy, or just putting it on a Vinemare. It's pretty unfair. I do think that this deck gets disrupted very easily, particularly by blue. In fact, particularly by blue and white. Like, one enchantment that makes your enchanted guy suck or not able to attack, and a bounce spell. It's really disruptive. As with all aura decks in history, they're bad, but you can just get free wins. However, in this format, there's actually some good stuff to put auras on. Like, you can actually build this deck. I feel like it's the most consistent deck to free roll with because you get so many free wins, but it's the least consistent deck at getting 5 wins because you're just going to go against somebody who bounces your things and you're going to lose very easily. So you will get very, very, very easy wins, and you will be in games where you get 3 for 1 and feel awful. Blue-black is the second best deck. I also got 5 wins twice with this, as the gold stars denote. I had Tezzeret in one of them, but I didn't draw him that much. When I did, it was insane. I actually did have artifacts in that deck, like Field Creeper, but I had double of the 3-drop 1/3 Reanimators, and that guy is actually pretty insane if you have the support for it, which I did in that case. I think that blue-black is good. I think that you can mill, like Psychic Corrosion is a thing. I definitely put it in the more controlling versions of every blue deck that I have, and I will incidentally mill people quite a bit. I don't go all in mill. I don't play a bunch of walls. I don't think that's correct. You want kill spells and delay spells and draw spells, and you want creatures, and you even want flyers sometimes. Like, you want to play a real deck, and sometimes you just have Psychic Corrosion in there. And I think it's a really good archetype, and I think the main reason why is the Symbiote, which is, of course, is the gold card. That's black-blue, and it's insane. So this is probably a second best deck. Blue-red, I haven't gotten 5 wins with it. I only played it once, and I went 4-2. I had 2 Gutter Snipes and an Enigma Drake, and a Banefire. I definitely thought that should have got 5 wins, and it didn't. I think that in Limited, it's always been difficult to make a really, really, really good deck that has mostly spells in it, or maybe too many spells, even if it's like 13-10 or something. But you can do it. And another version of this deck that I actually played at F&M, and I went 3-0, was I just had a curve that basically topped out at 3, with the exception of 2 of the Salvager of Secrets that gets back spells. And I just had like 3 Shock, 2 Gutter Snipe, Enigma Drake. It was the same type of deck, except it was much lower to the ground. I had a bunch of those Boggart Brute and Viciano Pyromancers. And that deck was actually very strong. I definitely think I would have 5-0'd with that on Arena. Blue-green, I'm undefeated with. Played it twice. I went 5-0 both times. The reason why is the gold card, once again. Skyrider, Patroller, whatever. It's basically Hadana's Climb, which was arguably the best, or at least top 2 or 3 rares in all of Rivals of Ixalan, and here it's on a 2/3 flying creature. It's actually more efficient than Hadana's Climb. It's insane. Every time I have that card and I can cast it, I just win. I win every game. So I am 10-0. With the caveat that this is probably the 3rd best archetype. Maybe it might be the 4th best archetype, because we're going to talk about red-black next. But it's because green is like the worst color and blue might be the best color. It kind of meets somewhere in the middle. I think that the shitty blue cards like Aether Tunnel and Ghost Form get a lot of mileage out of the green creatures that are gigantic. So I actually think that blue-green is the best green archetype. And it's like really not even close. Second best is white-green, but we talked about how ores are crappy, so at your own risk with that one. But blue-green's good. I think it does have a lot of synergy. It does play pretty honest Magic, with the exception of the fact that it has a mythic rare at uncommon that wins you every single game in which you cast it, and it lives. Red-black is a sacrifice deck. If you're red-black and you're just trying to kill things, that's fine. Like, you could just have all the red and black kill spells and some creatures, and that probably works. I played it twice. I went 5-1 both times. Both times I had 2 to 3 copies of Active Treason and a bunch of sacrifice outlets. This is an archetype that they put in like every other core set, the Active Treason sacrifice deck. It's always fun when it works. It's really, really, really good here. It's probably the 3rd best deck. You almost can't go wrong. I had one that had Graveyard Marshal, so that gave me just a ton of food to keep sacrificing my own guys. And the other one just had the 3 Active Treasons. The gold guy that sacrifices is not as good as the Harpy that sacrifices, but it does do it for free. With the Harpy, you actually get to attack with their creature before sacrificing it and getting your counter. But with the gold guy, the 3/3 Menace that gets +2/+2 when you sacrifice, you actually have to do it before he attacks. So it's a free way to sacrifice, and I had 2 of those in both decks. So I think they're good, but that Harpy is really where you want to be. Both uncommon, so it's not like the easiest deck to put together. But Active Treasons will wheel, because only idiots take them when they're aggro. But really, really smart people take them when they're black-red. The worst 2 archetypes are black-green and red-green, because they have green in them, and they don't make use of Aether Tunnel or the Skyrider Patrol or anything obnoxiously busted. So black-green, it has a really good gold card, this Death Touch Archer guy that's like a... What is he called? He's a Zulaport Cutthroat. I can't remember the real... God, the real version of Zulaport Cutthroat, but it's a drainer. It's amazing. Paint Artist? Is that it? Fuck. Can't remember. Anyway, black-green's not that good. If you get a bunch of fatties and a bunch of kill spells, you might win. But I find that to be just too honest of a Magic strategy to actually win in this format consistently. And red-green, I also don't really find comes together very well or very often. But I think that when you make it, you want to slant very aggressive. You want to play all the cheap... You don't want to ramp unless you have dragons. If you have the dragons deck, that's fine. But I think that the more consistent version is just like it's like blue red with fatties instead of bounce spells or whatever. But it's not that good. If you've got big dragons and stuff and the ramp guys, it's fine. I think that black green's probably the worst archetype, and red green is probably the second worst archetype now that I think about it. But they are definitely the worst, and that's kind of where I stand on this format. You definitely want to be tokens. You definitely can be blue black control. Um, Spells matter works, and blue green has one very unfair card, and that's pretty much how I have free rolled. And maybe I'll make more videos about exactly how to draft these decks. Till next time.